ongoing trade talks to continue with uncertainty over what happens next in these tariff negotiations. This comes as Chinese telecom giant Huawei is suing the U.S. government over the law passed last year, which bars the company's equipment from certain networks. On Sunday Morning Futures, I spoke with National Security Advisor John Bolton. Here's what he said about Huawei's lawsuit against the U.S. What's your reaction to the lawsuit against the U.S. government?
Well, you know, there are a couple of aspects to this. Number one, the United States, along with a number of other countries, allies and friends of ours, some time back decided not to procure Huawei equipment for our national security-related telecommunication systems, and I think for very, very good reason. The Justice Department also indicted the chief financial officer of Huawei. That was not a political act either. She was accused of financial fraud. The extradition proceedings have begun in Canada. If an American company with an American CFO had done what the Justice Department accused Huawei of, we'd throw the book at them. It's just as simple as that.
Joining us right now is the author of The Coming Collapse of China. Author Gordon Chang is here. Gordon, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria.
So where are we on this? And then I want to get your take on whether or not this Boeing grounded situation, that China's grounding all the 737, 8 MAX jets, rather, is anything sort of to do with this trade story?
Okay. On Boeing, first of all, I think it is a safety issue, but you also got to remember that China has a brand new competitor for the 737 MAX series, and that's their Comac C919, I think it is, which is about to be sold. So I think clearly that's in the back of the Chinese mind, which is the reason why they were among the first to actually ground the plane. So there are political considerations as well as safety ones.
Where are we on a deal?
You know, who knows? It changes day by day. I actually think that, yeah, everyone wants a deal, but a deal's not going to stay together because the Communist Party genetically cannot honor trade obligations. And so we're going to see a series of really difficult, I think, discussions with the Chinese because they're not going to enforce it. And we're going to want to go back and snap back tariffs and all sorts of things. What we should do is just keep the tariffs on until they actually stop stealing our stuff and they stop these trade violations which have gotten worse under Xi Jinping.
So do you think that the Trump administration, if it does a deal, and the president in particular, are kind of losing this negotiation? If they go and do a deal without a strong enforcement mechanism, have they basically given in and been out negotiated?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. But I don't know if they're going to do it because you got to remember, on the other side of this, we've got a lot of Democrats who are running for president, and there are 3 states, you know, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. You got a lot of blue-collar workers there, and they're going to say, well, I've been betrayed if the president does that. So I'm not going to rush to judgment and say that the president's going to cave, because I think that there is a lot of stuff on the other side that will force him to do the right thing.
Yeah. But if a deal doesn't get done, right, then everybody's saying what's going to happen to the market. So it's sort of like a lose-lose scenario.
And he cares very much about how the stock market.
But he can't cave on these issues. Now there's been a tipping point in this subject. People understand what China has been doing. People understand how they're sucking up our intelligence at every point, whether it's through academia or acquisitions or just transferring technology. He can't cave just from what you said, just from the constituents in all of those states.
You know, going back to Huawei, I mean, this is a fight for the first half of the 21st century when you combine 5G and AI. And Huawei is 5G. And clearly, you know, they have been engaging in some really surreptitious activities, like downloading all that data from the headquarters of the African Union from 2012 to 2017. And the Chinese did that with Huawei equipment that they donated to the AU when they gave them the building. So clearly, this is not some sort of theoretical issue. This is something what the Chinese have already been doing. And by the way, Maria, we've got this FTC case against Qualcomm, our only 5G competitor. The FTC's star witness on the first day of this trial was Huawei. This is nuts, where you have the federal government crippling our only hope in dominating 5G.
Gordon, we got really weak car sales data out of China overnight. What's your assessment of how the economy is doing and how much pressure is on the Chinese to get a deal done?
Yeah, I think that there's certainly a lot. The Chinese economy probably started to contract in December when you start looking at not only car sales, which are down 13% 1.0% in December.
Contract or grow slower?
No, this is contraction.
Those 6% growth numbers are total fiction in your mind.
And January and February, they were also down, which makes months 7 and 8.
So what's with the 6% number then? China says that its economy is growing 6%.
Yeah, 6.6% for last year, 6.4 in the last quarter. Yeah, you had a well-known Chinese professor at Renmin University in Beijing in December created a sensation across China when he said, look, our economy is growing no more than 1.67, and it may even be contracting. You look at car sales, they clearly show that retail sales were not up in the month. You saw exports and imports crumble in December. They were also down in the combined January and February period.
That's fascinating.
You look at the PMIs, the Purchasing Managers Index for the critical manufacturing sector, they've been negative consistently.
So how much pressure is on Xi Jinping to get a deal done?
I think there's actually a lot because there's a lot of sniping from the sidelines because he owns the trade war. He owns the slumping economy. And, when you're chairman of everything, as people say, he's accountable for everything. So he could actually be, I think, in a vulnerable position right now because of these two issues.
And he promises people prosperity. What happens if they don't get it? What's the outlook for social unrest?
Unrest in the streets, which is exactly what he doesn't want.
Yeah, this is a big year for sensitive anniversaries. 30 years of Tiananmen, more important, 100 years of the May 4th movement, 70 years of the founding of the People's Republic.
Real quick, enforcement. Are they going to put an enforcement issue in there, the U.S. side?
Probably.
How are they going to enforce that China keeps their promises?
There will be an insubstantial enforcement provision, like snapback tariffs or something like that. But that's really not the way we need to go. Because the Chinese, they violate every agreement. You don't give them relief.
Isn't snapback irrelevant? We're putting tariffs on already as it is. What do you need a snapback agreement?
Those are insubstantial tariffs, 25%. What we should be doing is banning the import of products that have benefited from the theft of U.S. intellectual property. John, that's $300 to $400 billion a year. Some people say more.
That's right. People say it's up to 600, actually. Gordon, it's great to have you on the program.
Thanks, Maria.
Really insightful and important conversation we're having. Gordon Chang joining us there.